What is up, you guys, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. This is not no regular schmuckler type of video, baby, okay? Because one, this is the first video into the new year here on this channel, so happy new year to you and your family. And you guys, this is my 1 year anniversary month of me posting consecutively for a year in 2024 on this channel. Girl, are you mean to tell me that I've been yapping my mouth away talking about all things beauty, books, and blowouts? Well, if anything, I've been talking about a lot more books, which brings me to this. In 2025, you guys, I really want to push myself a lot further. I want to dive more into beauty. I want to dive more into hair content for you guys, but I don't want it to come off as like I'm an influencer. I want it to come off like girl time. I want to talk about real things going on in my life. I want to talk about topics that, you know, I've been thinking about and just genuinely connecting with you guys. Whether I'm right or I'm wrong, I would love to have a really good conversation in the comments about anything that I might be feeling, while also adding value and putting you guys onto something new. So if you're here for the first time and you click this video, hi, my name is Blossom, and I hope that you subscribe and stick around. But anywho, so let's get into this video because we do have a pretty good size wrap up here. Actually, it's not that long. I think we can get into it pretty quickly, but anywho, let's get started. So the first book that I have here is A Variation by Rebecca Yarros. You guys, listen, I've only known Rebecca Yarros for her fantasy books, never her second chance contemporary romance or even her back catalog, right? Never known her for that. This one right here came out in November, just read it in December, and I was completely surprised by this book. It was so dang good. You can see the little bit of flair she added with suspense and mystery and combined it with a second chance romance. Oof, it was really good. So this one talks about Ali Russo. She's an elite ballerina striving to make her demanding mother happy, okay? Her mother is also an elite ballerina of her time, so it kind of makes sense. She applies that pressure to her daughter, unfair, but Ali always has this suspicion like, my mother is watching, I need to do my best, mother won't like this. But anywho, so she sustains an injury, you guys, and she has to go back to her summer home to heal. As she's healing, guess who she runs into? Her high school crush, best friend, if you will, Hudson Ellis. Now you would think the sparks would fly. No. When she sees Ellis, she has all these uncomfortable, intense feelings that she has been trying to hide for years, dealing with grief and tragedy and loss. And honestly, it's an emotionally hot mess. No sparks whatsoever. And that's what I loved about it, because it's not your typical second chance romance. There's really some hard, intense feelings there. Now, as they're kind of dealing with that and kind of rekindling, and you're trying to figure out what happened to them, because of course you want to know what happened to this couple, what caused them to separate, a whole nother plot is introduced, and that's where the suspense and mystery comes in. This book was so good. If I can give it a rating, I'm not really good with ratings, but I do deduct stars, if you will. If this was a 5-star, I would say take away a star, because I don't like the overuse of spice. This story has so much potential of going a little bit deeper and further and getting more into the mystery aspect of it. It has so much more potential for that, but then when you kind of like convolute it with like spice, it just becomes too much, and I really didn't like it. But I would say I'll give it a 4 stars. Why not? It was a really good book. The next book I read here is A Landing on Mars by Ashley Howard. You guys, we have talked about this book, I believe, in my last video, and I told you guys it is not your typical fluffy romance. I hold it for you guys, and now we get to talk about it just a little bit more, because unfortunately, this is one of those books you have to read on your own and come to your own consensus. Like, is it right? Is it wrong? Is he right? Is she wrong? Is one of those books. And I cannot give you my opinion about it, because you're gonna have to determine that yourself. But this one talks about Mars and Nyla. They are flawed, complex characters. My God, they really are. But they're also yearning for human connection, and in a way that is not sexual, but in a way that they are conversing, and they're talking about hard topics and feelings and kind of hatching out their past. They start to develop this beautiful relationship initially, because I see the hurt oozing out and a little bit of healing coming in, but at the cost of being hypocrites. This is for you to determine, not me, girl. You have to read this book. It is so dang good. And guess what, you guys? A second book is coming out. You want to know why? Because the biggest cliffhanger happens in this book. I was so irritated. When I tell you I was so irritated, and I don't know when Miss Ashley is going to get this book out. but I'm hoping this year. And I'm hoping it's very soon because I need to find out what happens to my girl and my guy here. Okay, Ashley? Really enjoyed this book. Next book that I have is Throne of Glass, baby. When I tell you this has to be my favorite read of December, completely shocked me and surprised me. You guys know that I started off with Assassin's Blade in this big world in this series, right? I liked Assassin's Blade. It was a little bit of a short stories, if you will, giving kind of like a prequel vibe, getting you to understand Selena Soldathrian, the character, the main character here. She's a very well-known, the best assassin in this entire universe, if you will. Okay, and she gets locked up in a prison camp, and she's been there for about a year. She gets dragged out by the Mad King, who put her there to begin with, to compete in a competition to regain her freedom. Ish. Okay. Now, as she is training for these competitions, keep in mind she's been in a prison camp for about a year. Her body is limp. She's fragile. She's tired. She don't want to do this, but she wants to also regain her freedom. So she is pushing through. So she's like retraining her body. Now, guess what happens, girl? As she is pushing through and doing what she got to do, the bodies of her competitors are dropping like flies. They don't know what's going on. Like, not only are they growing doubts about her surviving this and actually pushing through, but her competitors are dying off. And you would think that would be a great win for her. Less work for her to do, then she can actually win this thing. No. A whole nother plot comes into play. And what you think is a simple, straightforward assassin trying to compete for a competition to be the king's champion easily and quickly turns into a magical, mythical creature devouring these bodies, and you trying to figure out who is doing it, or should I say what is doing it. Girl, I'm going to eat this series down. Okay, that is not gonna look cute when I edit. All right, and the next book that I have here is Final Offer. You guys, these books are so dang good. They're so addicting. And I finally got to meet the third Kane brother. We had a little glimpse of him in the first and second book, a little bit more in the second book, but now he has his own story. And when I say, and this is big for me, when I say that this is my favorite book in the entire series, you better believe it, because Cal has so much depth and has more substance to him and his story, and I absolutely love that. One thing that I wanted from the first and second book was for the story to go on a little bit longer. I wanted more. Like, I needed a little bit more depth from it. This book gave it to me. It gave me some more understanding about the father. It gave me more understanding about the grandfather. It gave me more understanding of surrounding the Kane brothers. The ending, you guys, was so dang good. The way that these contracts, these tasks kind of just tie in together. One thing that I was completely misunderstood about with this whole entire series was, once the task was completed from each brother, I thought they went ahead and got their inheritance. No. All three of them had to complete it. All three had to be on the same page. Now I know why there was so much hustle and bustle, they were putting on each other to get the task done. I was like, why do they keep rushing each other? Why do they keep trying to keep each other accountable? Like, is that a brotherly thing? Are they trying to look out for them? Like, what was it? It all made sense, more sense in this book right here. I do plan on doing an entire video on this series, just talking about it a little bit more, because honestly, it deserves some more shine to it. I'm pretty sure this is not a new series. I'm a new reader here. However, I did really enjoy it, and I just want to talk about it a little bit more because I don't want to let them go, you guys. I was so sad, but yet so happy to read this series. Like, I didn't want it to end. I don't want it to end. I can honestly go for one more book, kind of like wrapping up the entire series, giving us a little bit of an update. I don't know, family vacation with a little drama. I don't know. Oh my God, Lauren Asher, give us something, girl. And the last book that I read was How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. You guys, this book was a hot, funny mess, okay? I love all things Megan Quinn. Give her a topic and she will turn it into the best rom-com with spice and banter like no other. I really enjoyed this book. This was like a Grinch retelling of Christmas, and we get to meet Cole and Story, and they enter this competition to kind of lift up the spirits of their neighborhood. And honestly, just reading through the competition, understanding what's going on, seeing their backstory, the second chance romance that's happening here, it was actually really hilarious. And my favorite thing, y'all, My favorite thing about this book is how the narrator has his own segment going on here. He's chiming in, and essentially the narrator controls the story. You know what I mean? So in here, he's like controlling the story, and if Cole gets pissy, he'll turn it in the way that Cole doesn't want it to work. Oh my gosh. It's like the fact that he's giving his 2 cents just made it all more hilarious. I love Megan Quinn. I think she's super awesome, and I cannot wait to see what else she writes. Anywho, so you guys, that was it for this video. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and Happy New Year to you and your family. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have fun sticking around, consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you have read any of these books, meet me in the comments. Let me know where your takeaways from them. Did you like them? Will you be reading them now? And yeah, until the next video. Bye for now.